We've made it. We're just about 48 hours. My math might be off there because it is taking place from London, England, in the United Kingdom, Wembley Stadium, 80,000 plus, not only AEW fans, but wrestling fans in general, from one of the rowdiest crowds in the world. And I honestly cannot wait for that very first shot of that stadium packed for All In this Saturday night. So now we've got to talk about the match cards. We got 9 matches officially for the pay-per-view itself, 2 on the pre-show. I believe it's called 0 Hour. And I've got to say, 9 matches for the actual pay-per-view seems like a happy medium. It seems like it might actually benefit, it might actually work for the pay-per-view itself, because usually AEW tends to do 10 to 12, 13 matches per pay-per-view. They run long. It hurts people's attention spans, at least in my opinion. That's my experience. But for now, let's go right into the matches. And of course, we got to talk about the main event of the actual show first, because it's put up or shut up time. Maxwell Jacob Friedman, and this is pretty much a 2-part prediction, because obviously I have to talk about the pre-show match that they're about to have. But for the actual main event itself, Maxwell Jacob Friedman versus Adam Cole, baby. Better than you, baby. They've had quite a bit of history. They've become pretty good friends, but there's been quite a lot of tension brewing between the two, and Roderick Strong has made it pretty damn clear that this Saturday in London we'll find out who the real MJF is and who the real Adam Cole is. And I've talked about this on the channel before. Something's going to happen in this tag team match, in the Ring of Honor tag team title match, when MJF and Adam Cole try to defeat Aussie Open, Mark Davis, and Kyle Fletcher. They obviously won't. They will not. I firmly believe 100% that they will not go into their world title main event match as Ring of Honor tag team champions. I might be wrong. That's just my prediction right now. For that match alone, I'm predicting Aussie Open will win, and I'm predicting Adam Cole, baby, will finally turn on Maxwell Jacob Friedman. Because all these segments over the past few weeks, in-ring, backstage segments, every single character development from these two performers, from these two superstars on AEW programming has led me to believe that if MJF wanted to turn on Adam Cole, he would have done it quite a long time ago. He would not have granted Adam Cole a world championship match on this big of a stage. Why would he? Why would he? So now, Adam Cole is going to turn on MJF in the middle of the tag team match for the Ring of Honor tag team titles. And then MJF are going to have 2-3 hours to get up in his mind, get in his feelings, get in his emotions in terms of what has happened with Adam Cole. And that's going to lead straight into the main event when MJF puts his championship, the Triple B, on the line against Adam Cole. And the match, well, we've already seen it on Dynamite. These two can go at it. These two have pretty good chemistry. I expect the exact same thing to happen at Wembley. But Maxwell Jacob Friedman will prevail. Maxwell Jacob Friedman, MJF, will retain his AEW World Championship for the very simple reason that all the story plots, all the story beats that AEW is trying to tell right now is that we're leading into MJF versus CM Punk for the undisputed AEW World Championship with MJF as the babyface. People want to boo CM Punk, of course, and MJF versus Adam Cole at Wembley. It will be the second match in their series. There will be a rubber match after, especially with Adam Cole betraying MJF. So I don't expect MJF to lose the championship at this moment in time. As a matter of fact, I expect MJF to break Kenny Omega's record as the longest reigning AEW World Champion in company history. And we all know the story. We all know the the narrative that MJF has been talking about for almost a year at this point, for over a year at this point. The bidding war of 2024. And the only way MJF gets some leverage over Tony Khan and AEW is if he is still the World Heavyweight Champion. So I'm predicting MJF to retain that title no matter what. But again, anything can happen, especially at AEW's version of WrestleMania this Saturday, which again, I cannot wait. So with that said, I already gave my prediction for the Ring of Honor Tag Team title match. Aussie Open wins. MJF retains his title against Adam Cole. And by definition, I already gave you the prediction, a spoiler, much like Paul Heyman says, that CM Punk will beat Samoa Joe in Wembley in that much-awaited pay-per-view caliber match that these two men are about to put up. These two rivals, fierce rivals from the Ring of Honor days. CM Punk puts his real World Championship on the line against the Samoan submission machine Samoa Joe. And CM Punk is going to retain no matter what, and that's going to lead into All Out. After All Out, CM Punk is going to start to heal it up because CM Punk, Phil Brooks, is a natural heel. As a matter of fact, I don't think we've seen him as good of a heel as he could be since 2009 when he turned on Jeff Hardy. In 2012 was alright. He had Paul Heyman by his side, but again, fans didn't want to really boo him at the time. He was just right after the Summer of Punk, so I'm just expecting right now CM Punk to eventually, pretty damn soon, to turn heel, and for that he needs to keep the real, gotta keep doing that because that's not an actual title, real World Championship on his shoulder. So again, CM Punk beats Samoa Joe at All In. On the other pre-show match, talking about on yet another paper championship. Jack Perry defends an unsanctioned title, a title that does not matter, against the Phenom that is Hook. Now, this match is particularly hard to predict because, again, that paper championship is on the line. That championship that does not matter is on the line. So, if it was a straight-up singles match, just one-on-one, I'd obviously say Hook, but I don't want Hook to carry that paper championship around. I want Jack Perry to actually keep it so he could retire it once and for all. Get it off AEW TV. So I'm just going to go with Jack Perry retaining. That keeps his momentum with some underhanded tactic. And eventually, once he retires that title, Hook can get that win of wins he needs over the man formerly known as Jungle Boy. We've got the tag team match for the AEW World Tag Team titles. FTR versus the Young Bucks. And this match will be full throttle, non-stop action. It's going to be pretty much show-stopping. It might go up as contender for match of the night at All In. And specifically, it won't have the shenanigans or the backstabbing that I expect the Ring of Honor World Tag Team title match to have. I'm expecting this AEW Tag Team title match to be straight up. No interference, no backhanded tactics, just let them go loose. Because AEW desperately needs matches that don't have any overbooked mess. Now, who wins, who walks out with the tag team titles? It's a tough one. It's a tough one because FTR has had a pretty good reign. Might be better. Hell, they beat Young Bucks and they go and keep this title reign going. It might get better, but Young Bucks are a historic tag team. They just came back to the tag team division. Again, it's a very difficult match to predict. So I'm just going to throw it out there. Titles need to change hands in Wembley Stadium. It's that big of a stage. So if titles need to change hands at Wembley Stadium, then I predict the Young Bucks beat FTR for the tag team titles. And hopefully, eventually, down the line, All Out, later down the line, going into Full Gear, we get another best of seven series between two amazing tag teams, FTR, Young Bucks. What more can you ask for, right? So, Young Bucks walking out with the World Tag Team Championships. But the feud, the rivalry, the match series, far from over. Four-way match for the AEW Women's World Championship. Hikaru Shida Toni Storm, Saraya, and Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. Like I said, titles need to change hands. And she'd have just won the championship. But every time Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, walks on stage, her music hits, she walks out there, you know she's a star. You know she is the top star in AEW Women's Division, no matter what. No matter if Toni Storm is the champion, Saraya, Thunder Rosa, Hikaru Shida, doesn't matter. Give Britt Baker back the championship. Put her back on that pedestal where she belongs at the top of the women's division, and watch the ratings, watch the viewers get enthralled by Britt Baker. Because all the hardcore wrestling audience that complains and bitches and moans about the same superstars at the top, they're going to keep watching anyways. So, if they're going to keep watching anyways, just to complain, just to find something to critique, the best thing for you to do is to establish a true leader, a true behemoth of a women's division, especially homegrown. And that, ladies and gentlemen, that, AEW fans, is Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. She walks out with the win, brand new Women's World Champion, and we get going. And who knows, maybe Jade comes back and Britt Baker's a babyface. Jade Cargill comes back as a heel. Jade Cargill finally gets the world title. You put two of your best female stars over in the process. What more can you ask for? Come on. Let's make it happen. We have a coffin match, tag team match. Darby Allin and Sting. Sting, 60 plus years old, but he is a legend, Hall of Famer. No doubt about that. His legacy lives on forever. I'm just hoping... Call me crazy. I've talked about this at length over the past week. Call me crazy, but I feel like Sting's last match ever in professional wrestling history would be perfect right here in Wembley Stadium, tagging with Darby Allin against Swerve Strickland and Christian Cage in a coffin match, tag team match. Protects Sting for the most part, gives him that big final showcase, that big final grand stage that's not a WrestleMania but is AEW's version of WrestleMania. Why not? Why not have Sting retire? Do a quiet retirement, much like Stone Cold had done at WrestleMania 19. Why not? And with that said, I'll give Sting the benefit of the doubt. I'll give him the win with Darby Allin. It is Darby Allin's match, coffin match. It beats Christian Cage and Swerve Strickland. Some miscommunication with Luchasaurus and the TNT Championship. That might play out. I don't know. But for now, Darby Allin and Sting walk out with the win. We got a 6-man tag team match for the World Trios Championships. House of Black versus Billy Gunn and the Acclaimed. House of Black is such an underestimated and underutilized faction and group in AEW as a part of their programming. Basically, Tony Khan has missed an opportunity to make House of Black their Wyatt family with a bit of an Undertaker touch, feel, aura to it. They have failed to do so. And as much as I would love for the Acclaimed to walk out of London as World Trios Champion, Anthony Bowens, Max Caster, Billy Gunn, Daddy Ass, Scissor Me, you want to have 80,000 plus scissoring in that stadium. As much as I would love for that to be the case, House of Black needs to really establish themselves as a force, as a true force to be reckoned with, to not be stifled with. This group, this faction has the potential to really cause fear in anyone on the AEW roster, and at some point very soon, I think House of Black needs to take this further. Malachi Black needs to challenge MJF for the World Championship. Especially if you're going to have MJF be a babyface. Because their mind games, their tricks, their all the everything that they can bring to it, all the horror aspects that they can bring to AEW programming, that should be in full effect. That should be in the back of Tony Khan's mind in terms of booking or future creative potential. So House of Black retains the World Trios Championships, and they keep those titles for a long, long time to really establish themselves as the most feared group. Not only in AEW, but in professional wrestling today. So I have House of Black retaining those championships. We have the 6-man tag team match. Again, a lot of tag team matches on this card. We got to get as much people as possible on this WrestleMania stage, of course. The Golden Elite, Kota Ibushi, Kenny Omega, and Hangman Adam Page versus Bullet Club Gold and Konosuke Takeshita. 6-man tag team match. And this is just a shame that we have Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page and Kota Ibushi and all these stars in random 6-man tag team matches when they could have been at a bigger stage. But again, this has a lot more to do with AEW's bloated roster. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, at some point, I think they had, back in WWE, I think they had Randy Orton, Sheamus, and Daniel Bryan, or 3 big name stars fighting off against the Shield because they just didn't really have against really anybody else to feud with to that point. So I think this is the exact same case here. Who wins? Again, Golden Elite, if they win, it's going to be a pop of the century there. But Bullet Club Gold and Takeshita really need some momentum. They really need to keep their street cred, to put it that way, up. So Takeshita and Bullet Club Gold it is, but it could go either way. I wouldn't be mad if the Golden Elite walks out with the win. I wouldn't. Especially since out of the 6 people in this match, Rock Hard Juice Robinson is the perfect guy to get pinned or submitted in this match. I'm just saying. We'll just have to wait and see. We have a singles match for just a regular singles match again, out of nowhere, completely out of nowhere, just to have Chris Jericho on the card and just to have Will Ospreay on the card. Of course, Y2J needs to be in a singles match. Top tier singles match at this stage of his career. Again, ridiculous. He's a legend. Future Hall of Famer, no doubt about that. But again, age. Nobody can beat Father Time, and Chris Jericho is nowhere, absolutely nowhere near his prime. He was nowhere near his prime in 2018, 5 years ago, when he started facing off against Kenny Omega in the first place, and he put on great matches there, but that was 5 years ago. Now he's going up against one of the best in the world in Will Ospreay, and Will Ospreay will carry this match to the finish line. This match will be great. It will work. The fans will go nuts. It will go freaking fantastic because of Will freaking Ospreay, and Will Ospreay better get the win over Chris Jericho hands down, because if Y2J walks out with the win, the Ocho, whatever you want to call him, if he walks out with the win, I am gonna lose my freaking mind. Chris Jericho does not need to win this match. Hell, Chris Jericho does not need to be in this match. The only benefit of having this match is Will Ospreay gets to perform on AEW in Wembley Stadium, 80,000 plus, WrestleMania-like stage, and 6 months down the line, 7 months down the line, hopefully Will Ospreay's contract with New Japan Pro Wrestling runs out. He's able to sign with AEW, and then you make Will Ospreay the absolute megastar that he deserves to be in all elite wrestling and in North American wrestling, for that matter. That's all I'm going to say about that. And finally, we have the Stadium Stampede match. Again, Stadium Stampede. Gotta do it. Stadium, 80,000 plus. I'm not gonna get tired of saying that. It's all in. It's AEW, 80,000 plus. Come on, man. I wish I was there. But I'll be able to watch it from home. Eddie Kingston, Orange Cassidy, best friends, and Penta El Cero Miedo, Pentagon, former Impact World Champion, of course, faces off against Blackpool Combat Club, John Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, and Wheeler Yuta, and the returning former LAX hasta la muerte y después Santana and Ortiz are back. We saw it last night on Dynamite. Pumped ourselves for this match, and hopefully it goes better than Blood and Guts. Hopefully Pac and Takeshita Santana and Ortiz don't run out on the BCC, much like Pac and Takeshita did during Blood and Guts. But just based on that, based on what happened at Blood and Guts a month and a half ago, BCC gets the win. Santana and Ortiz get back on track, and come on, Down the line, Santana and Ortiz versus the Young Bucks. Santana and Ortiz versus FTR for the tag team titles. Finally give Santana and Ortiz a tag team championship reign that they deserve, that they have never won in AEW since they came to the company, 4 years ago? Come on. And obviously, by now you can tell I'm hella excited. And I'm thrilled for this pay-per-view. I cannot wait for this pay-per-view. The pay-per-view itself, the aftermath, all out next week. Again, we are pretty much on the brink of AEW's biggest week ever in company history, their highest grossing week, their most viewed week of all time. Mainstream media should be covering this in North America, in the UK, all over the world. I cannot wait for AEW's WrestleMania, and it is taking place from Wembley Stadium, 80,000 plus. This is a win for professional wrestling. This is a win for AEW. This is a win for wrestling fans in general. So if you're gonna watch it on Saturday, I know you are, take it in, enjoy it. And just watch the UK, the rowdy UK fans go absolutely bonkers. They go nuts. And what can I say? We're going to have a great show. So with that said, those are my predictions. Those are my thoughts on the pay-per-view itself, heading into a historic all-in event for AEW. What are your thoughts? What are your predictions for the match card? What are you expecting from All In this upcoming weekend? Leave your thoughts, comments, and predictions in the comments section below. In the meantime, we have Impact on Access TV later on tonight. We have SmackDown tomorrow on Fox. I still believe we have Rampage tomorrow on TNT. I believe a taped edition. So, tons of wrestling to come. It's good to be a wrestling fan. With that said, I'm Alexis Carrillo. This has been Wrestling Talk, and I'll see you next time.